Hello and welcome to the AI with Arun show. I want to start with a true story that proves why this topic is the most critical digital skill you will learn this year and beyond. In early 2024, an employee at a major engineering firm, Arup, received a high priority message from their CFO, the Chief Financial Officer, about a secret transaction. The employee was suspicious, so they asked for a video call to verify the instructions. They joined the call. There was the CFO along with several other colleagues. The CFO spoke directly to the employee and authorized a huge transfer. The employee looked at the CFO in the eye virtually and processed the payment. The next day, Arup was $25.5 million poorer. Why? Because every single person in that video call, the CFO, the colleagues, everyone was an AI generated imposter. The voices were cloned, the video was synthesized in real time. This terrifying event proves one thing: the traditional belief that seeing is believing has collapsed. Generative AI has fundamentally compromised the trust infrastructure that supports journalism, law, and commerce. Our goal in this video is to give you the skills to stop being fooled. We are going to teach you how to spot the invisible fingerprints the machines leave behind. Now, this is not just about politicians or funny videos anymore. This is about cold, hard risk. The threat level is rising astronomically. Now look at these numbers. The use of generative AI deepfakes increased by 118% just last year alone. And in North America, deepfake fraud cases surged by an astounding 1740% between 2022 and 2023. Now, these are not theoretical problems, it's a global operational risk. Now, go back to that Arup heist we just discussed. The 25.5 million loss proved that visual confirmation in a video conference is no longer sufficient proof of identity. If the most sophisticated firms can be tricked by a real time deepfake video call, then every single person and business on this platform is vulnerable. The good news is that these hyper realistic systems still make mistakes. To find them, we have to look deeper than the surface. We have to look at how the machine built the deception in the first place. Imagine you're trying to spot a forgery. You need to know which tools the counterfeiter used. AI has two main phases of forgery. First, we had the generative adversarial networks, the GANs. These models were like bad photoshopping. They compressed a face and reconstructed it onto a target body. You could spot them by looking for seams, blurry images, or edges around the mask where the deepfake face met the real neck. But the current generation models like Sora, VO, and Gen 3 is completely different. They use diffusion models. They don't swap faces, they hallucinate entire realities from pure noise based on a text prompt. Think of it like a digital world simulator. And here is their fundamental: while they are great at texture, they struggle with temporal causality and 3D geometry. They view video not as a coherent sequence, but as a series of space-time patches. This results in a phenomenon, occlusion failure. If an object moves behind another, the AI often loses track of it, causing the object to morph, glitch, or vanish when it reappears. The AI treats the scene with dream logic. So, in spotting a high end deep fake, our best defense is human biology. AI can generate pixels, but it cannot perfectly simulate tissues and physics. We start with the eyes, the toughest feature for AI to synthesize accurately. Now, first look at the corneal reflection or the catch light. The surface of the eye acts as a perfect mirror. In real video, the reflections must be consistent. In a fake, the reflection in the left eye might be completely different from the reflection in the right eye. So they might appear in different positions. For example, 2 o'clock versus 10 o'clock. Now that is a physical impossibility and a guaranteed fake. Second, check gaze vergence. The human eyes naturally converge on a single focal point. Deepfakes frequently exhibit strabismus or a wandering gaze where the eyes don't quite line up. Finally, the blink physics. Real human blinking affects the surrounding facial muscles. In deepfakes, the eyelid might just wipe down without moving the cheek or brow, creating a disconcerting mask-like appearance. Visual forensics number is skin, speech, and scene. The imperfections that we spoke about earlier continue in the skin and the mouth. AI generates surfaces, not living tissues. Our skin is translucent, meaning light penetrates, bounces off blood, and returns, causing imperceptible color shifts with every heartbeat. This is called the photoplethysmography or PPG signal. A deepfake lacks this signal. It's scientifically speaking biologically dead footage. You can also often spot AI by its over smooth skin because it removes the natural high frequency details of pores. Then the mouth and the teeth. AI struggles terribly with complex rapid muscle movements. Lip sync often fails on sounds that require lip closure, like P or B or F and V. Even worse are the teeth. They often appear as a solid white bar, sometimes called the unibrow of teeth, or they morph in size as the person speaks. If you see a dark void instead of a dynamic, that's another massive red flag. They look for environmental consistency. Remember how diffusion models struggle with physics? So look for inconsistent lighting. A face lit from the right while the background suggests a dark source on the left or a light source on the left. And watch for temporal flicker. Fine details like hair strands, glasses, or jewelry that change shape or shimmer unnaturally from one frame to the next. Now let's look at the audio forensics. All right. So talking about the auditory attack vector, which is crucial since many financial frauds start with a cloned voice. Detecting audio fakes require you to stop listening and start looking at the sound. So our tool is the spectrogram. This visual map of sound reveals artifacts the ear misses. The most reliable sign is the spectral cutoff. High quality audio naturally rolls off beyond 20 kilohertz, but many commercial text to speech models use lower sampling rates to save processing power. So when viewing the spectrogram, you will see a hard, distinct horizontal line where the frequencies abruptly stop, usually around 16 kilohertz to or 24 kilohertz. Above this line, nothing but silence. A human voice would never have such a perfect ceiling. You should also look for harmonic smearing. Real voices produce sharp, clean parallel lines in the spectrogram. Synthetic audio often looks fuzzy, smeared, or broken because the model struggles to generate the rich upper harmonics of a natural vocal tract. Even if the voice sounds perfect, AI often fails at the mundane aspects of human speech. First, breathing. Early AI voices did not breathe at all. Newer models insert breaths, but they're often repetitive, looped samples or placed in syntactically incorrect places, like the middle of a very short phrase. Second, prosody. Now, this is the rhythm and the emotion. Cloned audio tends to sound flat, metallic, or perfectly robotically paced. It lacks the natural imperfections, the pauses, and the variations of a genuine human emotion. Third, background noise. Real recordings have consistent room tone or reverb. Fakes often exhibit what is called the anechoic silence between words, where the background noise floor drops to zero, followed by an abrupt jarring resumption of sound. Finally, the most powerful test for a live scam is latency. In a real time voice cloning attack, the AI needs a moment to process your words and synthesize a response. If you suddenly interrupt the suspected scammer, a synthetic voice may keep talking for a second before realizing that you stopped them, or it might glitch into silence as its processing pipeline resets. We cannot rely solely on our eyes and ears. We must also use software. However, I have a critical warning for you. Automated tools are probabilistic, not definitive. There is a generalization gap. A tool trained to adopt or to spot old GAN phase swaps often fails catastrophically when it sees a brand new diffusion video generated by Sora. This means relying on one single tool is a major security vulnerability. That said, these tools are excellent for augmenting your work. Now, there's something called Hive moderation. Now, this is widely accessible and offers a freemium model. It detects AI generated content across text, image, and video, giving you a granular probability score. Then there are Deepware scanners, a free dedicated scanner useful for a quick check. You can upload a file or paste a URL to scan for deepfake faces. For professional enterprise use, platforms like Reality Defender employ an ensemble approach. They run multiple detection models all at once. If one fails, another might catch the artifact, which greatly reduces your failure risk. What if the deepfake is so good that the software can't tell? That's where we use OSINT, which stands for Open Source Intelligence, to prove that the video is inconsistent with reality. So follow this workflow. Step number one, keyframe extraction. Use a tool like the free InVid or vVerify browser plugin to break the video into distinct still images. Then, step number two is multi-engine reverse search. We upload those frames to multiple search engines because they have different strengths. Yandex is superior for facial recognition and finding social media profiles. TinEye is best for finding the oldest instant of an image. This establishes provenance. The goal, we are not just looking for deepfakes. We're also looking for cheap fakes, which are real videos that have been miscontextualized. For example, claiming a video from 2019 is a breaking news right today. Now, step number three is geolocation and chronolocation. So verify the environment. Use Google Earth Pro to check if the 3D terrain matches the video's background. Use SunCalc to determine if the angle of the shadows matches the claimed time of the day. If a video claims it is known, but the shadows are long, the metadata is faked. The harsh truth is that deepfakes will soon become indistinguishable from reality. So the industry is shifting away from trying to detect fakes and towards proving that the file is real. This is called provenance. The key technology here is C2PA, or Context Provenance and Authenticity Standard. C2PA is essentially a digital birth certificate for media. When a photo or a video is captured on a C2PA compliant camera, like new models from Sony or the Nikon, the hardware cryptographically signs the file. This creates a tamper evident manifest containing the date, time, location, and the device used. If the file is edited, the software adds a new entry to the manifest tracking the chain of custody. If the file is tampered with by non compliant software, the signature breaks and you are warned. You can upload the file to verify.content.authenticity.org to check the credentials. This will become the default measure of trust. All right, so let's revisit the $25.5 million Arup heist, a story that we started off at the beginning of this episode, because it contains two critical lessons for the future of digital trust. Lesson number one, liveness is not proof. The employee specifically requested a video call because they were skeptical. They saw and heard the CFO in a live conference, yet the fraudsters used real time deepfakes. The key insight here is clear. The physical appearance of a person on a screen is no longer proof of their identity. And lesson number two, the liar's dividend. Now, this is a strategic danger. The mere existence of hyper realistic deepfakes allows public figures or criminals to dismiss authentic, incriminating evidence by simply saying that's AI generated. Without forensic evidence or C2PA provenance, the truth becomes subjective. We need these tools not just to catch fakes, but to certify reality. To survive in this new information environment, you need two layers of defense. For individuals, use the SIFT method. So, what is SIFT? Investigate, find, trace. Stop, meaning pause before sharing. High emotion or sensational content is always a red flag. Investigate. Click the profile. Is it new? Is it a burner account? 3. Find. Look for other coverage in a major trusted news outlet reporting the same breaking video. And 4. Trace. Use reverse search like TinEye or Yandex to find the original upload and verify the context. For organizations, implement zero trust. So 1. Procedural verification. Never authorize sensitive actions based solely on video or voice instructions. 2. Mandatory callback. Implement a rule that requires calling the person back on a known internal phone number or extension to verify the instruction out of band. 3. Start adopting C2PA. Demand that your corporate media, your press releases, executive videos be signed with content credentials to prevent impersonation. The arms race between generative AI and detection will never. Our only reliable defense is the combination of spectral analysis, looking for biological anomalies like the pulse, and strong contextual open source intelligence, OSINT. The future of media trust rests on verifying what is real, not just detecting what is fake. With that, we come to the end of the show. Please support our work by joining us as a member. All you have to do is go to the bottom of this video description and you'll see the link for becoming a member. And thank you so much for watching. If you learned anything from this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the AI with Arun show. Thank you. We'll be back soon.